Good morning, students. Say your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் மருதுமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் மருதுமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் மருதுமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book. So take page number 158. Today we will discuss the landform formed by the action of wind. Okay, va? So just to recall what we have discussed in our previous class. In our previous class we have discussed about the landforms formed by the action of glacier. So glaciers are nothing but a large mass of ice. Okay, so glaciers are nothing but a large mass of ice. So glaciers are divided into two. One is called as continental glacier, another one is called as mountain glacier. So continental glaciers are situated in the north and south pole, so near to north and south pole. So mountain glaciers, so they are located in the higher altitude regions. Okay, so the landform formed by glaciers were Shirk, Tan Lake, Eret, U-shaped value, then glacial moraines. Yeah, so the landform formed by glaciers, so that we have discussed in our previous class. So they were Shirk, Tan Lake, Eret, U-shaped value, and glacial moraines. In today's class, we will discuss about the landform formed by the erosional and depositional action of wind. So first, what is a wind? So wind is nothing but the horizontal movement of air. So wind is nothing but the horizontal movement of air. So an active agent of, so wind is an active agent of erosion and deposition activity in the desert. So wind is an agent, so active agent of erosion and deposition in the desert region. So wind can erode some particles, especially the sand from a particular place in desert, and deposit it in another place. Yeah, so wind is the main agent of erosion and deposition in the desert region. So the first mushroom rocks, so it was seen in the desert region. So when the wind blows in a direction means, so it erode lower section of the rock more than the upper part. Yeah, so the rocks in the desert region, so sometimes made of hard and soft rocks. So the upper part is hard and the lower part is soft. Yeah, so when the wind blows over these rocks means, so the lower part, so that is the soft rocks, get eroded more than the upper part. So such rocks have narrow base and wide top. Yeah, so you can see in this picture, so the bottom of the rock is narrow, but if you see the top, it is wider. Yeah, so why means, so the wind erode the base of the rock. Yeah, so it look like a mushroom, so wider top rocks in the shape of a mushroom, so commonly called as mushroom rocks. Yeah, so when the wind blows over the rocks which is made of hard rock in its upper part and the soft rocks in the lower part means, so the soft rocks in the lower part get eroded, so these rocks have a narrow base and wider top. Yeah, so and it look like mushroom shape, so that's why it was called as mushroom rocks. Okay, so winds erode lower section of the rock more than the upper part, so therefore such rocks have narrow base and wider top. So wider top rocks in the shape of a mushroom, so that's why it was called as mushroom rocks. So it look like a mushroom shape, no? Mushroom, no? So that's why it called as mushroom rocks. Sinselberg, so nothing but, say, isolated residual hill standing like a pillar with rounded tops. Yeah, so here the rock is very hard. Yeah, so it was not eroded, it won't get eroded by the air, by the action of wind easily. Yeah, but the surfaces surrounding it get eroded easily, so that it rise like a pillar. Yeah, so the rock rise like a pillar because the surface surrounding it was made of soft material which can be eroded by the action of wind easily, so that the rock emerged, so rise like a pillar. Yeah, so it rise like a isolated pillar. Yeah, so that's why it was called as Inselberg. Yeah, so it was so seen in Kalahari Desert of South Africa. So in South Africa there was a desert called as Kalahari Desert. In that you can find such residual hills, so such pillar like rock surfaces. Okay, so this is made of hard rocks, so they won't get eroded easily, but the surrounding surfaces get eroded, so because it was made of light particles, so that can be eroded by the wind easily. Yeah, so the isolated residual hill standing like a pillar with rounded tops. Yeah, so the top was in a round shape. Yeah, so it was called as Inselberg. So example, Inselberg in the Kalahari Desert of South Africa. When the wind blows, it lift and transport sand from one place to another. Yeah, so when the wind blows means it transport sand, it takes and transport sand from one place to another place. When it stop blowing the sand falls and get deposited in the low hill like structure. Yeah, when wind flows, it takes sand along with it. When it stop means it blows the sand in that place. So wherever the wind stops, it blows the sand in that place, and it get deposited in the low hill-like structure. So it forms a hill-like structure. So when the wind blows means it takes soil along with it, it takes sand along with it from one place to another place. When it stop blowing means it put this sand in a particular place, so that it forms like a hill-like structure. So these are called as sand dunes. So if the sand dunes look like crescent shape means it is called as bar sands. So when the wind blows means it takes sand along with it. When it stop blowing, so its speed decreases means it blows the sand. It put the sand. It blows the sand in a particular place, so that it forms like a hill shape. So low hill shape. So this is called as sand dunes. So when the sand dunes look like crescent shape means it is called as bar sands. So when the grains of sand are very fine and light, so grains means so nothing but so the molecules, so the shape. So when the sand is very light and fine means so the wind can carry it over very long distance. So sometimes if the weight or if the grains of the sand are very fine and light means so it can be easily taken by wind, so over a long distance. When such sand deposited in large areas means it is called as loose. Okay, so when the wind carries the sand which are very fine and light over a long distance means it created a large deposits of area called as leaves. Okay, wow. So when the grains of sand are very fine and light, the wind can carry it over long distance. So when the grains of sand are very fine and lightweight, so if the sand is very light in weight means so the wind can carry it over very long distances. When such sand is deposited in large area, so when such type of sand, so the sand which is very fine and light, when deposited in large area means it is called as loose. So large deposits of Lewis are found in China. So in China you can find the large deposits of Lewis. Okay students, we have discussed the landforms formed by the action of wind. So what are the landforms formed by the action of wind? Mushroom rock, Inselberg, sand dunes. So the what is called as bar sands? The crescent shaped sand dunes are called as bar sands. Then Lewis. So we saw the different types of landform formed by the action of Lewis. So if you have doubt, contact me. So for textbook reading, read the wind fully. So read all the landforms formed by the action of wind. So just 4 or 5 paragraphs only. So you can read it. Then homework. So question number 5. So mushroom rocks. So for answer, take page number 158. So 158 right side. So there is a picture mushroom rock now. So below that. So wind erodes the lower section of the rock more than the upper part. So therefore such rocks have narrow base and wider top. So wider top rocks in the shape of a mushroom, commonly called as mushroom rocks. So till that, so this is the answer for 5th question. So question in page number 161. So 5th Roman letter, 5th question. Give me a note on mushroom rocks. So answer in page number 158. So write it, then read the question carefully. If you have any doubt, contact me. So have a nice day. Thank you.